in somebody else's property.
Yeah.
Except you say, can I go in that? Can I go in your bag? Can I check?
If you ask,
the
yeah.
person says
Yeah, absolutely.
yes, then it's fine.
Yeah.
And if the person says no, then you say, all right, you're going to have to empty it one by one. It's going to take a time. It's going to take time, but I have to do what I have to do. Then when it comes to your wallet, obviously a man's wallet is just like that. Open it and just, rip it open like you want to rip it open. And at a glance, you see everything in there, even if there's a drug in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that might have come from the Brentford management. I think it's poor and professional work from the security part of Brentford. Yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure whoever has the license as the security checking, they've all gone through SIA. They've all gone through SIA. And for example, I've got an SIA badge. If management tells me otherwise, that's contrary to what SIA say I should do, I tell them, look, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. So I think it's more unprofessional on the security part of whatever security company Brentford have put in place in there.
Yeah.
They're overdoing it and it's not done. I would have said, was someone recording? I would have recorded it.
Well, absolutely. And I said the same thing.
I would have recorded it. And this is unprofessional. This is not proper. How would you do this? I would have recorded it and put it online and for everyone to see.
Yeah, I suppose that's another way to protest. I was just thinking about the people that were doing it themselves, the people that were assigned the task of doing it. How did they feel? I mean, how would you feel touching someone that intimately? You know, I don't mind if I don't care if I don't mind. I don't care if it's the same gender. It still feels uncomfortable. You know, it really gets, you know, touching somebody that intimately, you know. I don't, but anyway, I hope they're listening to us and
that's right,
and taking this on board, and maybe they might give Southend a contract. He'll do a better job than
I don't mind. You give me the contract. Why not?
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. So I was just looking at there's some changes to refereeing because Trevor, you did say about the way that the match between Crystal and Brentford was officiated poorly, and I think there's a new change that's just been brought in with regards to refereeing. So it says Premier League referees, are now required to review the clubs they support in an attempt to be more transparent towards support.
Tell Mark Taylor that the referee against City last week. Tell him that.
Right. What transpired there? Do you want to share what happened?
Well, there was a handball. There was a handball like that by Kovacic. It was like that. And they just twisted it. That was a penalty, man.
Right.
That would have changed, you know, the scenario of that game.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it does.
The whole internet was saying it. No. That was not proper, honestly. I just decided to keep quiet because I don't want to criticize anymore now.
You think you might get in trouble for saying too much?
I might get in trouble, yeah.
It's football. It's football. Nobody gets in trouble for saying anything. Like I've just made a big mistake by saying that Trevor doesn't think Lukaku was a very good player, and he took it on the chin. He did. My brother took it on the chin. It's like that's a misconception right there. I've got to correct you, and he did. So yeah, unless you start saying something about women, that's when you get into trouble. If you ever say anything about the women's football or women's part in football in a degrading way, you're in trouble, and we will never go there. But as long as you're expressing an opinion,
I'll be very honest with you. I believe
Yeah.
some of those referees
Yeah.
must have a preference for a particular club.
Yeah.
No doubt. They must have a preference for a particular player. And now imagine them officiating in a match involving that club or that player. There'll be a bit of, do you know what I mean? They're swinging one way a little bit. They might not show it, but they're swinging one way. Do you know what? I've seen few clips about, I've forgotten this referee name now, is retired now. And you can tell he's a Manchester United supporter.
Right. Okay.
And every time Manchester United score, you see him jubilate. Manchester United supporter.
Right. Okay.
And every time Manchester United score, you see him jubilate.
Yeah.
It's a reflex action. I'm sure he doesn't know he's doing it, but the cameras are capturing every detail. He's officiating against you in a United match, and United is scoring. You see him jump up. At least I've seen 3 clips like that.
Right.
And that's when I believe, maybe the clips were doctored, but these were not honestly. You could tell he's one-sided. He's one-sided.
Right. What about, all right, so
I remember before, sorry,
yeah,
I remember
go
before a cup final with Man United when Ferguson was there, so it's a few years ago, just as they were coming out, when they were in the tunnel, I think, before the match, they were being obviously live on television, and there's Ferguson pulling the ref, I can't think of his name, he's retired anyway, but pulling him about in a joking way, and the ref really laughing and all that. And you think, and I think it was said at the time, well, that doesn't look ideal, does it, for the ref to be sort of in Ferguson's pocket? I mean, he probably wasn't, but I suppose if Alex Ferguson sort of did that to someone and gave him a hug, you'd find it quite difficult to resist, but because of his stature in the game. But yeah, I think, as you say, Femi, people must have inbuilt biases, even if it's not a team they would say they support. You know, maybe a result would affect a team that you do support. And I always assumed refs had to say who they supported anyway, their main team. But this seems to be, you know, if you support 2 or 3 teams, you've got to declare it. But they could tie themselves in knots by discovering that almost any game it's impossible to give a totally unbiased referee. So, and they had a difficult enough job, as I say. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Can everyone hear me? Because I seem to have frozen up.
Yeah.
All
frozen
right.
now.
Yeah. This is.
I can hear you.
I'm doing a pose.
I can't see you though, Emmy. Cuz I can hear you.
Oh, but you can't see me.
Yeah, you're frozen.
All right.
I can't see.
Am I frozen or have I gone off entirely?
No, you've not gone off. You're just frozen.
So just frozen out.
I think you look better like that, Cuz. I didn't mean it.
I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, why am I not moving? This is good.
You made me laugh.
Because you can't even tell if I'm laughing now.
Why am I not moving?
This is my poker face. This is my poker face, by the way. I'm practicing on it. So I'm trying to perfect it. Nobody knows
You're still frozen. You're still frozen there.
I'm trying to do what I can here, but it's not letting me. So I think this is This is how it's going. This is how it's going to be. There'll be people watching it back years back and going, he's doing a really good poker face. Oh yeah. So I was just thinking, we've got about 2 minutes left anyway, so not much. But I was just thinking, would the same not apply to players that have moved clubs? So, for instance, if you was from Manchester, you supported Manchester all your life, and then all of a sudden, your son or your kid decides to play for the rival city. How do they adapt? Because if we're talking about refereeing, and we're talking about the referees might be a little bit biased against teams that they have a preference for, how would that work for the players then? Moving forward.
I think it's a different situation when you're playing, because when you're playing, the adrenaline is flowing, and there's some things you can't control. Even when you're playing against your dad, he's my dad, but I want to win him.
All right.
I want to beat him. So it's a different scenario when you're actually involved in the playing aspect of it. But if you look at it, why, if players go on loan from a mother club to like another club on loan, there's more reason why they don't allow them play against their mother club.
Right.
Because they feel you've still got allegiance to that club because you're still part of that club.
Right.
But when you move club to another club, you sign a contract, you've got allegiance to that club. So you must do everything to make sure that club you have signed for and you are currently in, you must do everything possible to make them win. Yeah. And that's why if you look at the scenarios of players are gambling and stuff like that, you can't play a bet against your own team because you're in that team. You still have vested interest in that team. But
still laughing about it. Anyway, yeah, that was funny. It's very funny. Well done for that.
Right, so like you were saying, Safemo, right. So, but we've run out of time anyway. Perhaps we'll take it up from there next time, next season. So, Trevor, do you want to conclude for us?
Yeah, is Femi there? Is he gone?
Oh,
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
You're there. Well done. I thought you'd frozen. Yeah. Well, anyway, that was the football referee this week, which we hope you sort of found interesting. There was one or two more serious things to discuss, such as the Brentford Palace match, etc. There was the hilarious spectacle of Emmy of Cuz freezing on the screen. Oh, making me laugh. I mustn't keep laughing. But it was hopefully good. We certainly enjoyed it. So thank you for watching, listening, whatever you're doing with us. We'll be back next week with the football referee. I've been Trevor Gear, and he calls me Cuz.
And I've been Emmy Hikins, and he calls me bruv.
And I've been Femi Madariola, and he called me Safemo.
So it's goodbye from me.
See you next week.
Goodbye from me. See you next week.
Bye.